Stanford University for quite a few years, and they really, maybe I'll just mention the origin of them. They started because I had been living in Tokyo, and I came over on a sabbatical and really liked it here and ended up staying. But Stanford has a system called the resident fellow, where you actually can live with the students. And so that's when I learned about what they call the Stanford Duck Syndrome, which is that Stanford students appear to be very happy and serene and peaceful, and they smile and they look so beautiful, but underneath they're really struggling. And so I could see the pain and the suffering among the students who would appear by our social standards to be the ones that are the most successful, the ones who have achieved what that they had been striving for through their whole lives. Some of them wanted to go to Stanford since they were 5 years old. And they've achieved that, and yet they are realizing that that's not the most meaningful thing in life, what they've achieved, and that they're simply on, what's that thing the hamster's on, kind of going around and around, or they're on this rat race to nowhere. And it's what they're valued for, as they've told me many times, is for what they can achieve. And sadly, that's even their own families, their own parents, give them that kind of a message, that as long as you're achieving, you're our son and daughter. But if you're not achieving, you don't have the same value, and that whole value system permeates the whole Silicon Valley. I thought we were escaping from Tokyo academic pressure to come here, but it wasn't the case at all. So, and at the same time, we lived in Palo Alto, near the university. We lived in the university, but at the Palo Alto High School, which was said to be one of the best high schools in the country, the day before school started, my son's friend committed suicide, right by in the railroad tracks near our house. And that same year, four other kids from the same high school also took their own lives. And so for me, it was really a turning point in my life, the serene life of a college professor. And I had to ask myself, what can I do? And I like that expression, think global but act local. And I said, well, what can I do? I can offer classes. I have to offer classes. Students have to take classes. Could we offer classes that students really want? Students want to know about, why are we here? What's the purpose of my life? How can I fulfill the responsibility I feel as a human being on this planet? What can I do? How can I do that? And the way I found was, I had been a psychotherapist, and I felt like that wasn't what I wanted to do, and the whole college counseling system is totally in a state of being overwhelmed by the demands. And so I thought about healing, for most of the places in the world, takes place in community. It doesn't take place by one expert who has all the knowledge and can give that healing knowledge to everybody, but it takes place in community. And so I set up courses that I call the Heartfulness courses, and we come together and I like the image of the samurai coming into the tea house, in which the door is very narrow, so you have to take off your swords, and take off your armor, and the door is very shallow, it's short. So you have to lower your head and bow to get into the tea room, and once you're in the tea room, you're equal with everybody else. And the tea master is simply there as a facilitator. So our classes begin in that way. We do appreciative learning. We appreciate each other's contributions. We share our stories. We believe that we can share our own vulnerabilities, and find that itself, beginning in that mindful place, brings on compassion, brings on a sense of responsibility to each other. And I have them call me sensei, which is a Japanese word for the teacher, but I say that it doesn't have to be hierarchical. The meaning simply means, by the Chinese characters, it's one who lives before you. So I offer myself as an elder, somebody who is there that they can see as a guide. But otherwise, it's really about collective knowing, appreciative learning, and it's whatever we can achieve as a community.
So I